Hi, I'm Monica Bullington, and if you're here, you probably have a house to sell and you're trying to figure out how to sell your house and get into a new one all at the same time. It really comes down to four options. You can either buy without a contingency or using cash and then sell your house. You can use a bridge loan that takes equity out of your current house as a down payment on your next house. You sell your house and figure out temporary housing and then buy, or you sell your house and negotiate a lease back until you find your next house. Obviously, if you have enough cash in the bank to just go buy a house, then you know what to do. You can go do that. Most people do need a loan to get another house. So your loan officer will have told you if you qualify to get another house without a contingency. This means they're looking at not only that you have down payment for your next house, but that you're qualifying with your debt to income ratio for two properties. Even if you're planning on selling your current house, they still do have to qualify you as if you're keeping both properties. So let's say you don't have a separate down payment saved up, but the money you have wrapped up in equity in your current house would be enough to act as a down payment for the next house. So what you would do in that instance is talk to your loan officer about a bridge loan. So a bridge loan is basically taking some of the equity out of your current house and borrowing that and putting it as a down payment on your new property. And then when you sell your old house, you pay off those loans because you're pulling a second mortgage on that house to pull that equity out. It's acting as a second mortgage. So you would pay those amounts off, and then you can fill in the rest, with the new house there. So this is a great option if you don't have a lot of extra cash, but you do have a great amount of equity. You just can pull it out and then put it on the new house. There are some, qualifying parts to this as well. So not everyone will qualify, and not every bank offers a bridge loan option, but it's a really good tool because when they give you a pre-approval letter, it does not mention any contingencies. So obviously you do want to sell your current property. However, you don't have to do it in order to purchase this next one. So it'll make for a really clean offer. One thing to mention about bridge loans is obviously by pulling that money out and borrowing extra money to put into this other house, you do have to pay interest on that additional money that's coming out. And qualify for the payments on both of those houses. So again, it's not for everyone, but it can be a really good option to get kind of creative with moving your money around. A third option is to straight up just sell your house. It can be scary if you're looking for a specific type of property and your house will sell really quickly and you're not sure how long it will take you to find that next house. The people that decide to do that and just figure it out later usually have a temporary housing solution figured out. So whether that's staying with, your family or you have another house, there's usually some sort of backup plan that if your house sells really quickly and you don't find a house quick enough, that you'll have somewhere to go in between. This could be an Airbnb. This could be a long-term stay hotel, family members, stuff like that. You just have to be able to take that risk that your house is going to sell really quickly, and that's great, but you just don't know how long it's going to take you to find that next house. If you do decide to just sell your house and basically see what happens, there's two ways that we might negotiate your closing date. Option one is we negotiate a longer closing date, and that longer closing date is meant to give you more time after you have an accepted offer to go purchase something else. This works best if you don't have a contingency, meaning you don't need to sell that house, but maybe that's just your comfort level that you would prefer just to sell and then buy. That's an option for people. So we try to give you more time to match those dates up, and so you have less overlap, temporary housing time. Or the second option is we negotiate a quick closing, so then you can hurry up, move out of the house, and then free up your equity and start writing offers on another property. Now, this really works best when you have, a relative or somebody's house that you can stay in, whatever your temporary housing. You have to be okay with that, knowing that you could be there for a little bit while we try to find you your next house. Option 4 is called a leaseback. This would happen if we sell your house and then we negotiate as part of the deal to allow you to rent your own home back from the new owners. So what we would ideally probably do is have a quick closing, maybe a 30-day closing, to get you closed and free up your equity. But you're actually staying in the house, and we'll have a predetermined, 2-month, 3-month period of time where you've agreed that you're basically renting the house so you don't have to move and find that temporary housing. And then your equity is free to go shopping and find your next house. Leasebacks have become a little bit more popular these days with how difficult it is for sellers who are in these situations where they need the equity of their house and need to be able to use that to go buy and are not having any luck with contingent offers. So we are seeing this come up more and more often, and it's a great solution if you're trying to figure out how to take your equity, buy another house, but not have to move and have this temporary housing option. In order to figure all this out, really the first step is talking to your loan officer. They're the ones that are either going to greenlight you into buying or say, no, you need your equity, and then explore these other alternative options. So you can either buy without a contingency, use a bridge loan, sell your house, or try a leaseback. If you have questions about how all of these might play out in your situation, please give us a call at 309-706-5927.